Go.
Hi, I'm Melinda Coletta. This is my husband, Phil Griffin. Together we're Professor Chef, and we teach you how to play with your food. So tonight we're going to be making some Irish soda bread in honor of St. Patrick's Day. So go ahead.
Okay, so we're making Irish soda bread. We're going to be serving that with a Guinness honey butter. And we actually made some corned beef, which I'll show you later on at the end of the video on how I made it. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to be adding raisins to the Irish soda bread. Because we're adding a dry fruit to a bread, we want to rehydrate it. And we are hydrating it with some liquor. Right, we are using honey bourbon because my wife's a beekeeper, so we got to use a little honey bourbon in there. Pour that in, and we're going to put it in the microwave for about a minute, and that will reconstitute it, so we'll have pumped up raisins.
And whenever we use dry fruit, Phil will always rehydrate it with some sort of booze because he can't cook unless booze or heavy cream is involved. So I'll pop this in the microwave for about a minute.
Alright, so now we're going to get to making the Irish soda bread. If you've never made Irish soda bread before, it is similar to making a scone, similar to making a biscuit, and is similar to making pie crust, whereas you do not want to overwork it, because if you overwork it, it's going to be tough and chewy. In this right here, we have yogurt. Okay, we are using yogurt, Greek yogurt, instead of buttermilk. To that, we're going to add 1 egg. Remember to crack your egg on a flat surface, because we do not want salmonella into a mixture. To that, we're going to stir it around.
One of the reasons we like using yogurt over buttermilk in this recipe is because it creates a moister bread. I've always felt that Irish soda bread is kind of like sawdust, so this helps that dry texture.
So now we're going to add all the dry ingredients to the bowl. Dry ingredients are all-purpose flour.
We use King Arthur. We're not really hung up on brands for most things, but we do like King Arthur flour.
Salt, sugar. We're using 2 forms of leavening, a baking soda, and a baking powder. The difference between baking soda and baking powder is baking soda needs some sort of acid to get it moving. The acid that we're going to be using to get this moving is actually going to be the yogurt. Baking powder doesn't need that. It's a mixture of actually baking soda and cream tartar. When you put the liquid in together, that will get it activating. Baking soda makes things go this way. Baking powder makes things go this way, go up. All right. To that, we're going to add all the wet ingredients to our mixing bowl. Okay, let's go with spatula, please.
Wet team to the dry team. Very much like a muffin. There you go.
There's a problem tonight. We're not arguing.
Oh, we will by the end of the video. You forgot the butter.
The butter goes in as I put it in.
The butter.
The butter gets cut in.
Butter?
Butter.
Butter. Butter makes it better.
Right, we are going to be using a stand mixer. You can use this. You don't have to use a stand mixer. You can use your hands if you want to, which I am going to be doing towards the end. It just makes life a little bit easier.
Now we're only making a half a recipe here. We did post the ingredients and the method and prep online. On the Professor Chef webpage. But if you want a copy, just email me at melinda@professorchef.com and I'll email you a copy. And that's Melinda with an A. MALINDA @professorchef.com.
Now we're going to throw the butter in a little bit at a time. Get it all cut in. Nice soft room temperature butter.
It's always important to bake with room temperature ingredients, and I know we always forget to pull out those eggs.
There we go.
Oops, there we go.
It was butter, it was greasy.
We had a chef accident.
At least it wasn't one hand.
Yeah. I forgot what it is.
Throw it away. So we always cook it with room temperature butter, room temperature eggs. Makes life a lot easier.
And everybody forgets to get the room temperature eggs. An easy way around that is fill a bowl with hot water, put that egg in it, let it soak for about 3 or 4 minutes, and you're good to go.
Alright, so everything is now come together. Gonna take it off. Can I have the raisins, please?
Yeah. And he did wash his hands with soap
Yes.
and water and saying happy birthday.
Yes.
No, I like row your boat.
All right, row your boat.
20 seconds. That's all you need.
Now we're gonna put the soaked in raisins in here. Maybe get a little bit of extra bourbon in there.
Yeah, that won't hurt, right?
It smells really good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
I could smell it.
Don't you all wish you had smell-o-vision?
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna take my hands and gonna knead it all together. I'll put it on the board so you can see it. So you can see it.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to cook this in a pie dish. You can cook this on a cookie sheet if you want. I'm going to spray it with Pam, but I'm going to spray it with Pam over the sink. Why? Because I don't want Pam all over my counter or my floor where I could slip. So this is always the way we do it.
All right, so there's always a controversy with Irish soda bread. Should it be raisins?
Should it be caraway seeds?
Should be caraway seeds. My opinion, do both. They both taste good. Did we put caraway seeds in this one?
I forgot to pull it.
All right, no problem. All right, so we make a nice little round mold. Looks pretty good to me. Flatten it out. Grease pie tin. In it goes. Now this is where I get taken over because Melinda likes to make a nice little cut with
So
razors.
I don't like the way he did this. I would rather have it as a mound. But I'm going to take a razor blade and I go deep and quick. We're not probably going to get the oven spring we would have gotten if he had made this in a mounded loaf, but I'm sure it's going to taste just fine. I did use a single edge razor blade because we are out of, a double edge because we're out of single edges. And in the oven it goes. Ooh, forgot the egg wash. All right, so we got a little bit of egg wash here. We're just going to paint that on. I'm going to pop it in the oven at 350. The directions call for an hour and a half cooking. That's for a full recipe. This one's going to be about 45 minutes. Okay? All right, Phil's going to teach you how to make honey butter in 2 seconds.
All right. Let's talk about butter. When we use butter, we are using nothing but salted butter. Unsalted butter has no flavor, so please don't use unsalted butter.
When's the only time we use salted butter?
Well, when you're making
Unsalted.
buttercream. Unsalted when you're making buttercream.
Buttercream.
Icing. Dressing.
No, icing.
Icing.
No using the F word. That's for you, Cindy Salvato. Go.
Right. So in here we have 1 stick of butter. We're making a compound butter. This is a nice soft room temperature butter.
A compound butter is just butter that's had something delicious added to it.
We need Guinness. We need honey. Do we have honey?
We have a lot of honey.
Really bad joke.
Yeah, really bad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Make sure you support your local beekeeper. I'm a beekeeper. He's a bee haver. That's a long story.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, these people are dying.
Oh, it's almost there. So now, I need a bigger bowl. This is not gonna go well.
We set this up before too.
Yeah.
Big bowl, big whip. Just another dish for me to wash.
We want to get air into the butter. Getting air into the butter helps it be able to absorb more items. Like you do some honey in the water. I know I get air in because the butter is now whiter in color. Alright. That should be enough. Now we're going to add the Guinness. We add the Guinness to the point where it can't take it anymore. As you can see, the Guinness is going to absorb through the butter. Add a little bit more. Guinness absorbs into the butter. Add a little bit more.
Oh, done.
And we're done. Guinness honey butter.
Yeah, we have butter all over the kitchen at this point.
No, we do not. I can't get it anywhere.
Yeah, we did. All right.
So now, thanks to modern day conveniences, we have a swap out because you didn't want you guys waiting 45 minutes to see the end product.
So we have a little loaf of Irish soda bread. So why don't you do the honors, Phil?
Okay.
Thank you.
So we got Irish soda bread right here.
Oh, you were prepped.
I was prepped.
Wow, amazing. You're gonna slather that with butter.
Little butter.
He hates fancy stuff.
You can have a big cutting board, please. All right. So that's the Irish soda bread with honey butter. See, that's honey butter. And then that is going to be served with corned beef. I got it. So I did not boil the corned beef. I roasted it in the oven. The way I did this is I took onions, potatoes, and carrots, put them down in the bottom of the pan. I scored the top of the corned beef, made a mixture of Guinness and grape Poupon mustard or whole grain mustard, sliced it, poured it over the top, put a little bit of Guinness to the bottom, and then I roasted in the oven for every pound about a half hour. So this is in the oven for over 3 hours. Okay. I have my knife over here. Give that a little cut. This smells unbelievable. You need to let it rest, because if you don't let it rest, we'd have juices coming out all over the place. Okay. Some roasted potatoes and carrots. Sarah, how are the carrots?
Very good.
Why no cabbage?
Because I don't like it.
I like it though. I'm sad.
It's all about you, Phil, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, just making sure.
All right.
And there you go.
And there's our St. Patrick's Day dinner.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. And don't shut her up just yet, Sarah.
Okay.
We're going to continue to do these for a while. We'll see how it goes. Tomorrow we are going to be making pizza. I'm going to be making an authentic Neapolitan pizza dough. Then the day after that, we're going to make zeppoles, right?
With the pastry cream.
Right. And then we're going to be making gnocchis, okay? So pizza and gnocchis are probably good for the little kidlets.
Zeppoles, because it's St. Joseph's Day, so we got to do that.
Yeah, we got to do that. All right.
Any questions, please let us know. We're happy to answer any questions and send you out all the recipes you want. Thank you.
Bye.